You hear the screeching of an owl, you hear the wind begin to howl. You know there's zombies on the prowl, and it's terror time again. They've got you running through the night. It's terror time again, and you just might die of fright. It's a terrifying time.
Oh, the ghost is here, and it's always fake. On this week's episode of Cartoon Buffoons, I'm your host, Wyatt, and who is here with me today, as always?
Hey, what's up? I'm Morgan. I went to culinary school with Schnitzel Mung Dal.
Nice. And today, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Scooby Doo on Zombie Island. Not a Cartoon Network show.
No? But
it aired on it all the time.
all the fucking time. I know all of you has seen it at least 3.6 times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You probably were like, oh my god, this cat lady's at the end. Scary. I gotta stop watching this.
So
at
scary.
least one time.
So scary. Oh my god. Why is this one cat man so burly and why do I feel so strange?
Yeah. Yes, we're gonna talk about some the kind of the first of the in a way, not the real first ever Scooby-Doo,
but the first revival one, the first revival one,
the first one past that original Hanna-Barbera era, and is still motherfucking going to this day. You know, they are still making direct-to-video Scooby-Doo movies. There's so many. I remember recently,
so fucking many.
I was in a Discord chat with Broden and Indy, past guests of the show, and we were just going through every single one of these movies, and I was like, there's so fucking many.
There's 48 and maybe 50.
Yeah. It's an absolutely ridiculous amount. But we're starting with, okay, just to be clear, we're not doing the other ones unless we also have a gap in the schedule and we need to fill it or whatever.
That's a fucking tier 9 Patreon thing.
Yeah, exactly.
We need to be getting $400 a month from somebody in order to do all of these. I'm not kidding.
Yeah. Whereas this is just okay, we had a gap in the schedule between our last episode, which was Robot Jones, and the next episode, which we hope is Kids Next Door, but things could change.
Also, by the time you hear this, it probably should be the spooky month.
Yes.
So let's hit you with some Scooby Doober Doo, dude.
Yes, October, the spookiest month. And then I decided this. I haven't seen it in a long time, so before we get into our history with the movie and everything, what is your first impressions of it coming into talk about it today?
I guess my first knee-jerk impression of it, having seen it again, is man, these used to have heart. Not to go off on the capitalism thing already. Man, the gap between heart and effort between the early Scooby-Doo revival movies and the ones we get now is insane. It's crazy a little bit. Maybe the quality isn't great on all of them, but still the early ones they were at least doing something, you know?
Yeah.
It's not like John Cena and The Undertaker from WWE works with Scooby-Doo to win a race. No, it's nah, here's a plot and a story we're going to be doing, guys. What the fuck are you talking about? Shut up.
Yeah. We have a plot. We have some kind of, it's maybe a little bit gimmicky, but there's actually some kind of theme or whatever that they're going for, something. It's a real movie.
It's a real movie. It's not we need money this week. It's not like this is before the Tom and Jerry movie-fication of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, what the fuck? Just Warner Brothers just going completely apeshit with the these and the Tom and Jerry movies, which was already a lot because Tom and Jerry I mean, holy fuck, they're still making Tom and Jerry movies up to like 2022.
Dude, they're like, hey guys, you love Willy Wonka? Yeah, I like Willy Wonka. What if Tom and Jerry was there? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, and if you're with this, hey guys, you love Snowpiercer? What about Snowpiercer with Tom and Jerry? They're on the train.
Okay.
Like,
but I love like just looking at this list of Scooby Doo movies. Scooby Doo and Crypto 2 is the most recent one, and that was in 2023. Will we be doing Crypto the Super Dog? You'll just have to find out, I guess, sometime down the line.
When we know, you'll know.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna be honest, guys, when you're hanging with the Buffoons, we got a lot of this planned. But also we got a lot of stuff that me and Wyatt literally go and call and go, are we going to fucking do this? Like, we ask each other in earnest, are we going to fucking do this thing? And the answer usually is yes or no. Yeah. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have to take a deep look at it ourselves. Maybe not that deep. We have to take a look at ourselves and be like, are we willing to spend any amount of time that we have left, precious time? We only have one life on this planet, and we're going to spend 40 of those minutes talking about baby Looney Tunes. And sometimes we just have to put our foot down and say, no, we're not doing that.
Do I want to watch Chop Sucky Chucks and not escape Samsara? Like, do I want to like go through these things? Like,
but so I enjoyed it. Like, definitely my first impression was like, holy crap, it looks really good. Like the animation studio Mook, Japanese studio, I believe. So it has like that anime. Like it has that specific style of like Japanese studios animating American cartoons in like the 90s, you know? So like whenever TMS would do an episode of like Animaniacs or Batman, you know, or like stuff like that, like just it looks very like Gargoyles or something. Like it reminds me of that. And I don't know, just had like, I was very...
I was surprised
by how
yeah.
good it looked and how much it held up, but still how, like, it felt very like modern to that time period, but it also felt like it still maintained like this classic look to it. Like Scooby himself, I was like looking at him. Yeah.
I think like, okay, we're gonna get into it, so I won't go into it now. But I do also found out that they had they asked what's his name
Casey Kasem.
No, they asked one of the original designers of Scooby Doo, who's also a Japanese artist, to ask for his opinions. Yes, Iwa Takamoto. Yes, for like his opinion on stuff, and I think that's really fucking cool. I think whenever you think about like the ties that like American and Japanese animation have with each other, it's always really neat. I always really am into it, and I really enjoy it.
Yeah, Iwa Takamoto. He has a great. I mean, he designed so many iconic characters in the Hanna-Barbera universe,
and Disney too.
Yeah, and Scooby Doo, like Scooby himself, looking at him and just like his design and everything, especially his eyes. His eyes are very like Goku or Toriyama-esque because they are like the open circles. You know, they're not like a complete closed circle, and then they have like the very like expressive like black dots. You know, so it looks very much like, you know, when Toriyama would draw like Goku. Or anybody in the Sun family. Yeah. And it's just like, it makes sense because probably, like he was probably influenced by comics and cartoons
like
and
old,
stuff.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah,
like
in America. But so, what is your history though with Zombie Island? I know we've talked about that it's like a thing that a lot of us have watched. Like as a kid,
so
do you have any like specific memories of like watching it?
I do, Wyatt, and I might have told you this because we've been friends for a long time.
Okay.
But I had a no Scooby Doo rule for most of my early 20s and teens. Because I used to go in the hospital a lot, everybody. And one time I was in the hospital and I had an ankle injury. And it was so deathly bad I couldn't get up and walk. And I was in a hospital. And the hospital just had Cartoon Network because it was for children. And they were playing this movie and other movies on repeat. Because back in the day, they used to just play a movie and then play the movie fucking again afterwards. And I remember, and I don't know how to put this, going insane. I remember literally be like,
Aloha, do I need to watch Aloha Scooby Doo again? Yes.
No, I don't. The thing is, though, I think Zombie Island was the reprieve because Cyber Chase is definitely a worse. Not Cyber Chase. What are the fuck it's called?
That is a way worse movie.
It's a way worse movie. That was the one that made me feel insane. But I was like, by the end of that, I was like, hey, Mom, I'm at the hospital now. Thank God. If anyone shows me Scooby Doo again, I might activate like a Manchurian Candidate and just jump on them and rip their face off. Like, I can't. So, like, this is funny because I've been avoiding Scooby Doo for maybe a decade. Like, decade and a half. Until we did this. 'Cause I'm like, you know what? I'm older now. I've let go of all that anger and shit I felt. So I was very prepared to go in here like, oh, is this going to like activate something? And I just like, I don't know, kill everyone in my house and feel bad about it. But no, it wasn't. It was pretty okay.
You watch, you're like, yeah, there you go. I too, I've seen all these fucking movies, at least up through like fucking Scooby Doo Pirates Ahoy or whatever, like something like that. Chill Out Scooby Doo. What is this about? Hold on, let me see.
Oh my God.
It's about the quest to find Shangri-La and the Yeti attacks them. So that's great. Sounds like a good time. But Zombie Island, that was one of the ones I had on VHS, because at the time didn't have cable to watch it on Cartoon Network a million times. Later, I would, of course, watch it a million times along with Witch's Ghost, Alien Invaders, and Cyber Chase, which are all the ones made by Mook.
Yeah.
And then eventually you get the like What's New Scooby Doo ones with Legend of the Vampire, Monster of Mexico.
Those ones get worse.
Yeah. Yeah, they're much worse. But because like I feel like the Mook ones in general, like they did just get worse as they went on already, and then the What's New Scooby Doo ones. Like, I remember, like, even at the time... Hold on. Maybe we should save this for a What's New Scooby-Doo episode, but I'm just gonna...
Oh, fuck.
I'm just gonna rip the Band-Aid off and say that I remember as a kid, as an 8-year-old, being like... Man, I think that What's New Scooby-Doo is pretty fucking bland, honestly, because it's just like... because I was thinking of like, oh man, they've had all these other crazy Scooby-Doo things. There's like Scooby-Dum, there's like Scrappy-Doo, because they aired all that garbage on Cartoon Network all the time, the older Scooby-Doo shows. But then What's New Scooby-Doo was so fucking bland that it like made me appreciate those things and be like, where's Ghoul School? Where's fucking the Reluctant Werewolf? Like, what are we doing with...
I think the quality of What's New Scooby-Doo woke me up as a person. I was playing with toys, and then I had wine and a monocle, and I was like, "This sucks." Like, it activated me into
the
a
singularity.
Human
like you became self-aware because of.
I was like looking around. Like my first memory as a cognitive person is What's New Scooby Doo sucks. I was like, I really woke up.
But Zombie Island was one of those like similar to like certain Goosebumps tapes. It was one of those things where I'm like, am I strong enough to watch this scary movie, because, like, zombies are scary, and crazy cat ladies are scary. Now, I kind of, I don't know about those cat ladies, but actually I have a very, maybe controversial, potentially problematic, the villain lady, the French colonizer lady, who is an evil cat lady, is pretty hot. So that's
she's super. She's very hot. Also, her and her platonic life partner are very hot together.
Yeah,
I want to know what their relationship is because it feels a little charged.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and it definitely feels like. Whenever the other girl, Lena, is like hitting on Fred, it's all like just manipulation. I mean, obviously by the end of the movie, that it is that, but it's like, it definitely feels false. So she's definitely like, just being like, me and my other immortal girlfriend are gonna, my immortal life partner, we're gonna absorb their souls.
Why don't they ever ask what they are? Because, these two women live in a bayou alone together and, have a beautiful garden. I'm like, y'all not curious because they're not related.
Yeah, I do have to also say one of them is like the one voiced by Tara Strong or Tara Chernoff. At this point, she has not been married.
I had to tell Kathy who that. Like, oh yeah, this is this is Tara Strong before she changed her name got changed and everything.
Yeah, she has like a Southern Belle kind of accent, and then the Simone, the main lady, the villain, the hot lady, she has like a French accent. So it's like, are they supposed to be like? Because obviously they came to America like colonial times. 1700s, you know, is what they're saying. They also say that they're part of like some kind of weird pagan cult.
Yeah. Which they had to they had to flee Europe because they love their pagan cat god. Honestly, these women sound like they fucking rule. I think we should let them do whatever the fuck they want, dude. It's kind of sick.
And then they're like attacked. Then they killed like a bunch of like Confederate soldiers and stuff. Like, seems like a good time.
So we're getting ahead of ourselves. But let me just say, I do think hearing like this, they killed all these poor people, and they describe all the people. I go, I don't know if they were wrong. Like, it sounds like they killed a lot of people who should die.
But yeah, the movie was in general like intense for me as like a young kid, you know, because this was
there's some real good scary moments in this.
5 or whatever, and it just has like, it is a goofy movie, you know, because it's Scooby Doo, but like it does like take itself seriously when it needs to, and it does try to be like actually scary when it needs to. I think that's what I always appreciate about Scooby Doo, is that the monsters are rarely goofy. Like, they are usually like well designed.
Yeah.
Even if you as an adult don't find them scary, you can understand why they're like threatening or creepy or whatever. And I think that carries through with this. And I think like, even though there's a lot of elements of this movie on a world building level that are a bit loaded, we'll say, I think that it uses the setting well, of being like, okay, it's like a Creole Louisiana setting, so zombies and a pepper plantation and voodoo curse and all that stuff. Like,
so, okay, I do want to say, to keep it straight, these guys didn't go full racist because it's not really voodoo. The people themselves that are doing it never call it voodoo, which I think is actually kind of nice in a weird way. Like, we don't have these white people doing voodoo in the woods. They're doing weird fucking pagan white people shit.
I think that's the thing, is that they, like, the people conceptualizing the movie maybe thought of it first as like, it's gonna be like a voodoo magician or something like that, and then somebody along the line was like, that would be way too racist, so we just need to
make them weird.
Let's keep the same plot elements of like the dolls and the, you know, sucking the souls and zombies and everything, but just make it like 2 cat ladies, like 2 white ladies that are doing it. You know, let's not go to that area. Yeah.
Before we get into like the plot, I do want to say, watching this has made me realize something. I think Scooby Doo is the perfect, like, and I don't know how else to say this, metric of if you know ball when it comes to not only animation and character design, but also writing. Because like, I think about like why like Mystery Incorporated works and other stuff that works in Scooby Doo and one stuff doesn't work, right?
Yeah.
And there's a level of like, when you do Scooby Doo, you need to not only keep all the characters true to themselves, no matter the time period, you have to make the world feel moving forward, but even if they're not. And I think about how this thing does it in one way, where they make Daphne and Fred move forward. Like, they have different outfits in this movie, and like they work different jobs and stuff like that. But they're still strange in their own way, given like the other people's world. And I think Mystery Incorporated works for similar reasons, where like the gang in that show, they're fucking weirdos compared to everybody else.
Yeah.
I think the key is that like, you gotta like make Scooby and the gang timeless, but timeless in a way where other people are like, oh, they're weird, but no one doesn't like not take them seriously. It's like very like I talked about before, like how like there's like a lot of David Lynch inspiration in Mystery Incorporated and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think across the board, the way that like Coop is written in that show, where he's very strange, but people just kind of take it at face value, I think that's very much what you should do with the gang in stories like this. Because like even here, there's a lot of like normal ass people that are like reacting to Scooby and like, what the fuck is up with them? But they don't ever treat them like they're from another world. They treat them like they're normal, strange people. And I think it works so well for like the tone and everything being set in this movie. Like, I even think down to art style, like the fact that Shaggy and them all look fucking weird compared to the normal, like, human people designs. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And it's, like, jarring when you look at it closely, but when you're watching it in the moment, you don't even fucking notice.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. It is, I would say in general that Velma and Shaggy are the closest to their old school designs, and then Freddy and Daphne, who are the most normal, are, like... closer to being 100% normal characters but still like resemble their old selves, you know. I mean, crazy enough, Frank Welker has been doing Fred the whole time. Like he has always been fucking Fred.
He will never stop.
Like, yeah. And then now he's even Scooby Doo, like cuz you know, Don Messick passed away, and then all the other fucking people who played Scooby are gone.
Do you know why Shaggy's voice actor is different here?
Yeah, well, that's why I thought that you were gonna bring this up, because I learned this, that it was like that Casey Kasem was like, no, if Shaggy is not a vegetarian, I do not want to voice him.
What an insane take!
Yeah,
and I love that this all jumped off because he was like, you know what? Actually, they wanted me to do a fucking Burger King commercial. I said no, he's vegan now, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like this, Shaggy's eating crawfish in this movie. Fuck this movie. I'm like, I don't know, man. Like it's insane, right? But I think Casey Kasem might fucking rule for that.
Yeah,
like, he might be the coolest.
And there's a lot of interesting choices with the voice. I would say, in general, Billy West as Shaggy is kind of weak as a Shaggy, just because
I agree with that.
Like, not terrible, but he just sounds so much like fucking Fry from Futurama. You know, it sounds like Billy West, like pretending to be Shaggy, not Shaggy. Like, it doesn't sound like Casey Kasem or Matthew Lillard, like later on.
Yeah, it is nice that we have so many good Shaggys in the barrel later on, though. Because, like, Matthew Lillard's really good. Scott Menville's okay, too. Mm-hmm. Like, we have a lot of good ones in the barrel, which is very rare for an iconic character like Shaggy.
Yeah.
A lot of times you just don't have a lot left over.
And then, weirdly enough, Scott Innes, who plays Scooby in this movie, he does Shaggy in, like, the other... like, a couple of the other, like, early Scooby Doo movies, like, before Matthew Lillard... takes the role. And he's like pretty good as Scooby. Scooby in this movie is interesting because he like, I'm so used to like modern Scooby where he just talks in like full sentences. Like classic Scooby, he talks in like one word sentences or like a couple words. Yeah,
he's like a caveman. He's like a caveman.
Which works way better. Like I remember somebody mentioning that Scooby should be a dog that sounds like he's talking, and then everybody just pretends to understand him, which is what you just do with a real dog. You know, you just, like if you have a dog, you're just like, yeah, what's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Hey, how you doing? Yeah, like that's true.
You just interpret and overly anthropomorphize them. So like, for us, we see that Scooby can talk and that he has thoughts and feelings and everything, but the people in the world are just like, yeah, this is my dog.
They also do that with the cats in this movie, which is fucking weird. Because like the cats laugh and like emote like the normal house cats, and I'm like
Scooby,
and I'm like, what a strange world you live in, where all these animals have so much personhood. It's so good. Also, while we're speaking of voice actors, I have to bring up the thing that made me laugh for an hour when I was watching this. Frank Welker going treasure will never not be the funniest scene to me. The pirate treasure. I feel like they put it in the script because they knew how he says it. Because it never comes up. It never comes back up in the movie ever again. Yeah. But like this, we should add in the idea of treasure just so we can make Frank Welker say treasure.
Treasure. That's because like I remember like years ago like a clip. Like, people, like, posting a bunch of clips, like, why does Freddy say treasure so weird? And then like from the original Scooby Doo show.
Yeah, like you can find it on YouTube.
Look, hidden treasure. And things like that. And it was just like, and then when he said that in the movie, it was like, oh.
Wait, I had to pause the movie. I don't know why, but it's the funniest shit. It's like, he wants the pirate's treasure. And I'm like, fuck off. Why is this so fun? I felt like a toddler.
Yeah.
I felt like a toddler with jangling cheese when he said treasure. Oh my God.
Man, and Adrienne Barbeau is the villain. So there you go. Cool.
Also, Mark Hamill is a fucking goddamn weird dude in this movie.
Yeah.
Let me just say, another example of us talking about this. Mark Hamill really was a fucking salt of the earth working ass fucking voice actor. Because this does not sound like him at all. I've never heard this voice from him in my entire life.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of that, Jim Cummings.
Yeah.
Like he's done, like he later in Princess and the Frog does like a Cajun character.
But this is like the birth of it. This is like his first Cajun.
And this is like a real fucking guy. Like this is like, you know, the ferryman or whatever. Like it's like a same Cajun. It's still, they're both Cajun, but he's like doing like a slightly different voice between them.
Yeah, like he's like a real guy here. He's like, hey.
Yeah, he's not a cartoon fly in this. Whereas, like, so I'm just like, oh, cool, Jim Cummings, you know. Yeah, he's a dime a dozen in like 90s animation, especially, but like
it's still nice. It's still.
Yeah,
I'll
cool
take a little bit of Cummings. I won't turn any Cummings down. Like, you know.
Yeah. I love me some Cummings.
Okay, let's talk about the actual plot of this fucking movie.
Yeah,
we haven't said. So basically, Daphne is working on a television show, which you know, she has Coast to Coast with Daphne Blake. She's very excited for it, but she's tired of all the fake stuff. She wants to see real monsters because she spent. I don't know how old they're supposed to be in this. I want to say 27, 28, but she's tired of spending all her years with the gang looking at fake monsters. She wants to find real ghosts and ghouls and goblins. So she decides to go out, and she also says on TV that she misses the gang. So Fred, being a good platonic best friend, calls up all his other friends, and they all go together to like go throughout the world, starting with Louisiana, to find real ghosts and goblins. Now, before I go back to the plot, I do want to point out something. Fred and Daphne work on a television show. Velma owns a bookstore, and Shaggy and Scooby work for the TSA as like a drug smelling dog and its handler. And I want to say, both Kathy and Wyatt both said, what the fuck? How are they working at the TSA? And I want to keep everybody in mind, this is pre 9/11. They're hiring anybody. This is pre 9/11.
That's true. That is true. I'm more like Shaggy. He's a hippie guy. Why the hell would he work for the man? You know, like, bro, why would he?
He's taking the weed he confiscates home. He is serious about this. Yeah, bro. Money's hard.
And it's. And also, Scooby is not a trained, I guess.
Absolutely not. They lied on that resume. They lied on that fucking resume.
So, like, definitely not a dog that can sniff out contraband. He's just a fucking normal dog. I mean, he can talk. That's new. But,
like, not even like a good breed for smelling that stuff out either. Like, you're a fucking like Great Dane. What are you doing?
Yeah, you're gonna die in like 2 years. Like, you're gonna die early, Scooby. Did you know that?
But they go on their little adventure and they go see all these places and they see like more fake bullshit the same way they used to back in the day. Yep. And this is all set to the montage of the song "The Ghost Is Here." And this brings me to my first big point about this movie. Why the fuck is this music so goddamn good in this goddamn movie? Oh my, "The Ghost Is Here" is crazy song. The ghost is here and it's always a fake.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. Go ahead.
Well, it's by Sky Cycle is the name of the band.
That will never make music ever the fuck again.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the band is perhaps best known for their contribution to the 1998 Scooby Doo on Zombie Island soundtrack. Wow, what an amazing repertoire that they have.
Yeah, that's like your biggest like literally they perform that. Perform "The Ghost Is Here," perform "Terror Time," and the dude's like losing it. Like, I hate you fucking people. Yeah. Yo, come on, wait, where's the zombies at, bro? Where's the howl? Like, all right, whatever. But
and they're like not they're like 2 minutes off. Like, they're not full songs, so like that's even funnier is that they would like perform like, all right, here's a 1:30 song that we're performing on stage.
But they fucking performed it like rent was due, man.
Yeah.
They fucking
Hell yeah.
man. But then they go to the bayou and they meet a very beautiful woman voiced by Tara Strong before she got married. And they go and find out there's an island that's haunted, that's a plantation. Don't ask who worked on the plantation. That's not very important. And from there they find out that like it's haunted, there's zombies there, and then there turns out actually the zombies are the good guys. It's actually a bunch of the dead people killed by the owners of the plantation who are werecats that drain people's souls like vampires.
Yeah. And they end up stopping all the shenanigans because, like any good story, they underestimate the underdogs of Shaggy and Scooby, and they're like, we don't need to take care of them. And then they come in, they save the day. It's all good. Okay, so we talked a little bit about the animation.
Yeah.
First of all, like them transforming, like when they like go 100% werecat mode,
so
and their like clothes, their like muscles are bulging out, and their like clothes is like ripping. It's like fucking Frieza transforming. It's
dude,
like,
it's so
awesome.
visceral, dude. Like it's so cool and visceral, and like man, there's also some moments like with like the zombies' flesh peeling off and stuff.
Yeah.
Like this movie looks fucking sick. It also definitely made some people furries. Like
oh for sure, with the fucking cat ladies and the big Bara cat guy chasing them down and everything.
I'm trying to figure out why he's buff, by the way, because he's like a fat white guy,
Yeah,
and then he becomes like sexy and pecked up and like milked up. I'm like, yo, why is this man so? Who was in that studio with one hand under the desk, bro? Chill out. What's going on here?
But when they die and they like disintegrate into bones, I was like, holy fuck! Like, it's
dude, this is
like,
intense.
This is like, fucking Clayface or whatever from Batman the Animated Series. Like, like this level of animation, it just is so good. Like just incredible animation and like character stuff, and like the location. It feels I don't know. It's
great. Like I feel like we don't do like I wouldn't be surprised if someone got location scouting work for this before they started animating it and working, because some of the backgrounds are painted.
Yeah.
And like I feel like location scouting only happens with live action products now, and that's a bummer, because I think if you let an artist go to a place where like a product is happening and sit down and start absorbing it, you might get some of the best art you've gotten in your entire life. Like it's so sick and neat, and like everything is so well put together and painted and crafted. And like even if you like no animation can see the shortcuts of like some scenes that don't look as good as others, it all feels so planned out in a way that like is so cool that they were allowed to make this. And like when I go that like the future ones have less heart, that's kind of what I mean.
Yeah, for sure. As soon as they start to, once they start doing like What's New Scooby Doo ones, because that show has such a generic style to it, and they're just sort of, oh, what if an episode was an hour long? Like that kind of is what it is. Whereas this, like, there wasn't a Scooby Doo show in the 90s.
No.
Besides like a pup named Scooby Doo, and that was like a weird meta
different style.
Sort of, just different style, different tone, and everything. And like this was kind of the era where Scooby Doo was just a nostalgic property, which is like weird for us to think about now because it's still fucking ongoing and cranking out. We just got like a big movie of it a couple years ago with Scoob that was terrible.
This felt like someone had an idea. Like this didn't feel like the hey guys, it's that time of year again. We gotta make another Scooby Doo project. This felt like someone had a cool idea. Like, hey, wouldn't it be sick if we brought back Scooby Doo? And
if we brought back Scooby Doo, and we were like, what if we did like it was real monsters, and then they actually like they thought about the idea of like, oh, okay, well if it's zombies, then maybe we should go to like the origin of zombies. And again, they didn't actually ever say voodoo, so that's.
But the vibe is there.
Yeah, but like it's in Louisiana. It's that all of those things there. There are no black people in this movie, unfortunately. But
There's
that one lady.
Yeah,
one lady at the very beginning of the movie, but
yeah, they also say like, yeah, what if it's like post canon also, like everyone's older and doing things.
Yes.
Like I don't like. There's a lot of ideas here that just aren't in the other ones, and it's a bummer.
Yeah.
Like
it just feels like a real movie. Like
this makes you want to watch like the Alien one where Shaggy fucks a sexy alien. And, and also maybe go ahead.
Scooby fucks a different dog alien. Like, it's just,
dude, that movie's crazy. I think what kind of pervert you are depends on which one you saw first, Zombie Island or that one. And I think like whichever one you saw first, it's changing the trajectory of your life really hard.
Yeah. Which is Ghost? That's also a big one because
yes, that's mine because that's like most of my personality.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, man. This was just such a fun thing to do and like see. It's just crazy how like much like for lack of a better term, how much swag these movies have. Like
yeah, exactly. The and there's a lot of like surprising moments of. Just like surprising character moments and surprising things that like things. I don't know. It's weird because like I wouldn't say that the movie is laugh out loud funny or whatever.
No.
But there's a lot of like clever moments and jokes and everything. And there's a lot of like. I think Scooby, because he's getting angry at cats, he feels like the most dog-like.
Yeah, no, he's very much so. Even though he still has the joke of like, there's a dog there, dog where? But he still like acts like he's barking and shit at cats. I'm like,
and like growling in the car like when he sees cats and everything. And I'm like, yeah, this is just like what it. It was like if you're riding with your dog, you're like, no, shut up, like just calm down. The video of the guy. And his dog's in the passenger seat, and he just like slaps it in the chest, and the dog turns slowly, like that. Yeah, it's Scooby and Shaggy.
I do want to get into the politics of this movie real quick.
Sure,
we hinted at it, but by the way, these cat people, they were originally just settlers, which point against them. I'll give them that. They're settlers. Yeah, but a pirate came to their like settlement. Pushed all of them into the water to be eaten by crocodiles, except for 2 of them. And those 2 go become werecats and then kill that pirate.
Yeah.
And then they kill Confederate soldiers years later. And then they kill plantation owners. And then they kill, like, mobsters, it seems, that came to the island to rob them.
Yeah.
And Shaggy's like, man, they killed all these poor people. And I'm like... I don't know, Shaggy.
Like, I would say sucking their soul out and turning them into, like, immortal zombies that are suffering forever. A little fucked up, but also, again...
Confederate soldiers and, like, slave owners. I'm like, let them cook. Like, listen, I think bringing innocent people here, that's fucked up. But let them cook on the rest of that shit. Like, let them cook. I think like the funniest part of all that is that like you see like, oh, these are just normal people. This is just like people who did this that like came here like looking for a better life. And I don't know, man. It's weird they don't say who worked on the plantation, but it's a plantation in the 1700s. I think we're all smart enough to put together what kind of plantation this was.
When they literally say like this was a pepper plantation, I was like, whoa, they fucking... Because when I saw the house, I was like, oh, that's a plantation house.
Yeah, but they won't say it. And they say like, oh, they say it immediately. Okay. Oh, wait. Wow. All right.
And I'm just like, oh, I guess, And that's why I was like, at first I was like, oh my God. And they're talking about like, oh, this place is like haunted. And a lot of people will say that like, plantations are some of the most like haunted places in America because of all the bad energy.
I wonder what evil happened there. Who did all that evil in those places? You fucking white devil. But
and that's what I was thinking with like, oh, are they gonna like reveal like? Because I forgot exactly what the
plot was.
So I was like, oh, are they gonna reveal that she has been like a plantation owner for like 300 years? But it's like, no, she was like again part of a pagan cult. They worshipped like a cat god. Then they like prayed to the god, and it like gave them immortal cat powers, but they just had to like feast on people's souls, every so often. And I was like, okay, so they're just not going to touch that. They're just not even going to, and like you said, they don't even like directly mention voodoo. They don't talk about any of
like
that
slavery.
stuff.
Yeah. To be honest, I think like there's definitely like a draft of this that lasted maybe 17 minutes.
Yeah.
Of where someone said, ooh, what if like there's like slave, and someone said, absolutely not. Someone came behind it like this. Absolutely. Absolutely. Are you fucking insane? No. We're not doing slaves. They killed evil white people. That's what they killed in this movie. But also, I think the fact that, like, at the end of the movie, a little Confederate ghost salutes Shaggy and Scooby, goes, thank you. Like and I'm like, guys, I don't know. I don't know how I'm feeling about this vibe.
Yeah. That is a little, like, what are we doing? Like,
thank you.
I get why it is being like, thanks for releasing me from, being stuck in this cycle of death.
Like, but like he was not fighting for states' rights. Everybody, that guy was not fighting. Also, I think the fact like this, they can finally live in peace, bro. A lot of them went to hell. I'm sorry, a lot of those people went to fucking hell. They were not
pirates and the Confederate soldiers went directly. To be fair, Union soldiers also went to hell.
Yeah. Listen, I think the civil rights, like the Civil War across the board, with the exception of anyone who was forced to fight as an enslaved person, hell across the board. I think we should just hell. But I think the Confederates should go to Mormon super hell, though. I think they should go to Mormon super hell. But it's like. The little ghost made me lose my mind. Thank y'all. He says y'all too. Thank y'all, and gives us a salute. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, the like I said, there is some stuff like that in there that was like kind of uncomfortable or kind of weird. It didn't like ruin the movie, but it was just like it's just like such a loaded idea and topic, of like, we're gonna do Zombie Island and we're gonna it's gonna be about this stuff, and it's gonna take place. It's in Louisiana, and we're gonna talk about plantations, man. We're gonna talk about Confederate soldiers. What were the Confederates fighting for? We're not gonna mention, but we're gonna
states'
leave
rights,
that implication
bitch.
There.
It's states' rights.
Yeah. So it's just like, a little bit weird. But it kind of reminds me of Paranorman. Have you ever seen that the stop motion?
Yeah, I see Paranorman with the gay jock that gets all the gift sets on Tumblr. Yeah.
But the plot of that movie being like, zombies are resurrected. You think that's the problem, but the actual issue is like they're suffering lost souls, and like it's this witch that is the problem, and the witch is like a little girl that was like killed during the witch trials. So it has this kind of element of like, wait, are we supposed to be sympathetic for these adult Puritan guys that fucking killed a little girl? It's like, I think she's kind of valid to be as pissed off like for 400 years or whatever that she was.
I think that like the issue with like a lot of like ghosts trapped on Earth stories is that usually the person that trapped them, like the witch or the pagan or whatever, fairly valid a lot of the time. Because the thing is, I think you got to do some crazy shit to make someone go, you know what, fuck it, you're trapped on Earth forever. I'm tethering your soul. Like, so like, I'm like, I don't know, man. I think they're spitting. Let them do their thing. Listen, I think purely the plot of like them trying to eat Shaggy and the gang was added in because someone was like, man, these guys aren't really the bad guys. Fuck.
Well, to be like, all right, they also have to be opportunistic, like willing to kill anybody, not just, people that are historically seen as bad, so like, it works and all of that, but there's just like some elements about it that are that maybe haven't aged well, or maybe was like way worse than like an earlier screenplay.
Yeah, but someone was able.
It was like banged out, and then they're like, "All right, we got this." It's like fairly inoffensive, There's like some very like things about it, but it's not.
No, but like it feels like a '98 movie. Like know,
Yes.
like I'm willing to like a lot. Like I know I am considered the woke left, but like I'm not crazy. I'm willing to understand like when something was made in '98. Like
yeah, absolutely. It you know what I just saw right here with the like the plot of it was actually taken from a unmade SWAT Kats episode. SWAT Kats is a show that we haven't talked about.
No fucking way. Shut up. That makes so much goddamn sense.
Yeah, where it's like also
wait,
the
wait, hold on. My nigga, are we talking about SWAT Kats? Are we going to do SWAT Kats?
I don't know because because that's a pretty we would have done it like right at the beginning of
because SWAT Kats was like 94.
Yeah. It's like a pretty because I do get some comments from people on YouTube that are like, why didn't you talk about cartoon like Toonheads or whatever? Like, why didn't you talk about these like older shows? And I'm just like, look,
that wasn't
I wanted to narrow the scope so we weren't fucking here all of our lives. Okay, there was some end goal in sight.
Hey,
we weren't doing like 200 episodes. You know.
If you guys want to make a list or tell us like shows we should throw together in one episode where we just watch a little bit of it, I'm being real here, a little bit.
Yeah.
And we do like a big catch-all. These are things from the '90s before Cartoon Network series went off. I wouldn't be opposed to talk about SWAT Kats. I think those two gay cats that explore each other's bodies are really interesting. I think that,
I love that era of like post TMNT where they're just like, yeah, what other animals can we put in like crazy situations where they're fighting other people and doing like the cows of Moo Mesa.
Yes,
and
fucking like, Tallyhawks and all that shit.
Yeah,
I do want to say, SWAT Kats looks amazing. I always like the art style is fantastic. I do think the idea of two vigilantes that call themselves SWAT and their superpower is piloting a fighter jet is maybe the most insane idea for a superhero I've ever heard in my entire life. I can't express how scared I would be that like, yo, there's vigilantes with a fighter jet.
Not like military technology. They call themselves SWAT Kats.
Dude, they're going to beat someone to death. Like that's scary. Like Batman having a jet is a little scary, but it's not his whole deal. But the fact that their whole deal is having a jet and a tank, that's fucking horrifying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. That's just I don't know, a recipe for disaster there. But anyway, that's just I just saw that on the wiki page that said that it was from an unfinished SWAT Kats episode, The Curse of Cataluna. So I'm assuming it was like, okay, they had
that would have been way more racist. That would have been way more racist.
Absolutely. But thankfully we got it for Scooby Doo instead. And it makes sense. I feel like there's some shared DNA there of like,
absolutely,
like SWAT Kats into this era of Scooby Doo. Like it feels very tonally similar and like art style wise very similar. A lot of like, very moody coloring and shadows and everything. I don't know, just a very entertaining movie. It's on HBO Max. I think it's fairly safe to say it won't be taken off anytime soon.
But also, it's impossible to fucking know.
Yeah.
So I would say watch it now.
We were talking about before we recorded. It's like, what the fuck makes them decide what to take off? Because they took off Metalocalypse. They took off Kids Next Door. So it's like now we have to download it. I had to go and like get a download of it to watch it all. Like,
dude,
what the fuck?
I think David Zaslav just like does a blood ritual, and whatever shape his blood becomes, is he like this? Remove Adventure Time. Like he's like a fucking old evil, like he's a pagan lord in himself. He just cuts his palm and bleeds like this. Yes. Yeah. No more Kids Next Door. Green lit up foster home of imaginary friends project, but only for toddlers. Like that's him in his apartment.
And the BMO show.
he has them pull animators in front of him, and he does the thumb from Gladiator, and he puts it down, and they get executed.
Yeah, we do just need to hit him in the balls with a sledgehammer at some point. But I think, I think that we're done. Chatting about Scooby Doo and Zombie Island. I say check it out. It's a pretty cool movie. I kind of want to check out the other.
Dude, me too. I've been feeling that since last night.
Yeah, I'm like, I kind of want to see what. Like, I remember Cyber Chase not being very good. But I don't remember much about
the alien
movie.
Yeah, me neither. All I know is that he fucks that alien, and I want to know how.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, is this alien hot? Like, I want to decide.
Dude, she's pretty hot. I googled it. She's pretty hot. Like, this is insane. This is an insane conversation. She's pretty fucking hot, dude. Shaggy has his woman of color queen who's going to be an alien. Yeah. She's pretty fucking hot.
Oh man,
guys, who knows? If we need a spot to like fill up, like something happens, we gotta fill up. You guys might be hit with another Scooby Doo classic, bro. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Cartoon Buffoons dies, and this is the birth of the fucking Scooby snack attack. Like,
Potty do? No, that sucks. Anyway, we're doing.
Yeah, we're good. Okay.
Yeah. But all right, Morgan, tell us where we can find you.
Hey everybody, it's that time of episode for my Goose My Gas. I'm a little tired today, so I'm gonna keep it short. I'm Girl Next Vor on Tumblr, on co-host Until It's Dead. It might be dead by the time you hear this. I don't know. It's a bummer.
Yeah.
I'm also Girl Next Door on Blue Sky. That being said, Old Man Jenkins and I have a plan to dress up as werewolves and scare everybody off of Blue Sky. So hopefully that would happen by now. I'm also on Twitter, but it's a secret. And what you got to do is you got to go down to the bayou and find an old plantation. And there's ghosts of slave owners there. Talk to them and they'll tell you the link to my Twitter.
Yeah.
Wyatt, where can we find you?
I think you can find me over at twitter.com/WazPranger, WAZP Ranger. Mostly stream of consciousness stuff, but I post about this podcast. Also follow the podcast page on Toon Buffoons Pod on Twitter as well. I post about the podcast whenever new episodes go up. I post about videos if I put new videos up on my channel. It's only magic. If you're listening to this on that channel, big thumbs up. Thank you. Videos maybe will happen at some point in the future. Who knows? But if you want to support me, if you want to get this podcast a week early, if you want to get the next episode, which we don't know what it will be.
No fucking clue, guys. No clue.
Yeah. Then go on over to the Patreon, slap a fucking $5 bill down. You get that a week early. You get all our other Patreon exclusive podcasts like Doctors in Disgust that I did with Cody, Stephen King's that I did with Cody. But if you only got $1, then you can just get Wow Cool Robot, me and my friend Wayne going through and reviewing every single robot in existence. We've done like over 100 robots at this point. It's crazy. It's wild. You know, there's a lot of robots out there to review. It's 5 to 10 minute episodes. It's a good time. Check it out. But yeah, there you go. We're done. Cartoon Buffoons this week. Wrapping it up. Hope you enjoyed this very spooky episode of the podcast in the spookiest month of the year. Maybe when the holiday season comes around, we'll do some stupid thing maybe we'll do Grandma Got Ran Over by a Reindeer or some shit that aired on Cartoon Network all the time. Like, I don't. Or fucking 8 Crazy Nights or something. Did that air out? No, that definitely didn't.
No, that's I don't. Or we could do like the Gundam. We could do something Gundam. You know, they have.
War in the Pocket because it takes place during.
Let's do War in the Pocket. The saddest Buffoons episode you've ever fucking seen.
And that aired on Cartoon Network, so you know.
Oh, connected tissues there. Okay, great.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for joining us, hanging out with the Buffoons.
Yes, and you have a spooky night. Ooh.
It's terror time.
The ghost is here, it's a